Hi everyone, and welcome to Cardiff City World. My name is Pan, aka the Greek Leek, and welcome to another little episode. We're going to sort of run through a couple of things that have been happening at the club over the last couple of days. Be interesting to hear what your opinion is as well about the changes that have been made behind the scenes. Announcement made the last couple of days that Nadia Somnes, who came with Errol Bullitt a year ago, has left his coaching role, and the club decided that they needed to go in a new direction in terms of, as I said, we need more goals. We need to improve our goals from midfield. We need to improve our goals from the strikers. Obviously, the club are going to bring in a few players, but there's a number of players there, like Ramsey if he's fit, Colwell if he stays, Turnbull, players of that ilk, Tanner, and obviously Atete if he stays and gets a few games. That these guys obviously need to be scoring more goals. We've got to get our midfield scoring more goals. That's essential. So Omer Riza's come in. He's a Turkish Cypriot. He's born in London. Football career, a number of different clubs at a low level. Started his coaching career 11 years ago at Cheshunt. He's been assistant manager at England under-17s. He's sort of been involved in Orient as well, assisting there for a season before he started at Watford, running the under-23 academy. So, and then he's been involved in the first team. So he's had a number of years at Watford. So he knows the Championship. He knows the English leagues. He is an attack-minded coach, so that's good. And it's a positive step. You've got to look at improving things, not just on the playing field, but behind the scenes as well. So if we look at last season, it was pretty dire, really, in terms of goals scored and goals conceded. I think only 3 Championship teams, for example, conceded more goals than us. I think, obviously, with McGuinness back, he was missed, obviously. I know Phillips came in and did a good job, but I think McGuinness, when he had his loan spell at Sheffield Wednesday, he's really matured, come back, a bit more experience, and I think it was a really good partnership with Gutas before he had his injury. So I think that's going to be like a new signing for us. And the goalkeeper Hodvet, I think that's an improvement as well. Some of his saves as well. So I think defensively, we are going to be better than we were last season. But obviously, it's goals we need. And we ended up 16th out of the 24 teams in the Championship on goals scored. So we need to find probably about 20, 30 more goals somewhere to be in a position where we're competing at the right end of the table. It's never going to be easy when you come against, Premier League clubs who come down, and obviously some of the bigger clubs who've got parachute payments who are still in the Championship. But, we definitely need more goals. So it's a positive step. I think, I'd be interested to hear what most fans think. As I said, it's. I think behind the scenes we are looking to improve the setup. So, as I said, Turnbull, jury's still out on him as far as I'm concerned. £2 million. It's early days, but he's got to score some goals. Scored a few goals at Celtic, not as many as he should have. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see now that he's had a few games in the Championship. He's had to adjust to a different type of league. That he hits the ground running this season. Colwell, we just hope that he does stay. I think from about February, March onwards, Colwell was looking at being a first team player, really. I mean, a number of question marks were against him previous to that, but I think he has matured. I've seen him for Wales under 21s, and he's absolute different class. He's way above that level. I know the Championship is a high level, but I think Colwell has got the experience. He's played a number of games for Cardiff now. I think, let's hope that he can be a first team player. The rumours are obviously that certain clubs like Southampton may come in with him. Southampton are just probably on the verge of signing Wood from Swansea for £10 million, and agreeing a compensation package with Swansea for their manager Russell Martin. They've got the money there, and Russell Martin really admires Caldwell. But I hope he does stay. But it wouldn't surprise me if someone came in with a bid of £5-6 million, really. And will we take it? That's the question. In terms of Ramsey, I just hope that he is fit, but I just can't see him playing more than 15 games. I think this will be his last season. I got total respect for Aaron Ramsey as a player. Would never knock him for what he's done for Cardiff City when he started and for Wales, and had a fantastic career at Arsenal. So he's been really unlucky with injuries, but I think a lot of fans at certain clubs he's been at have been so frustrated with him having so many injuries. And I think, for the same for City fans, there was a lot of excitement in some ways when he signed. I was sceptical about it because of his injury history. And it's turned out that, he has been suffering with injuries again. So I just hope he, has a better season, but I honestly can't see him playing more than 15 games. And we have to be aware of that and make sure that we've got cover in those positions. So yeah, I think as regards to strikers, we did a podcast the other day, mentioned about Sorry Cabba, who was on loan at Cardiff before, scored 8 goals in 17 games, pretty good return, a few of those games off the bench, and Cardiff City fans really liked him. Supposedly, as I said, Las Palmas, when we went to, have released him from his contract, so he'll be on a fairly big salary, but he's someone we probably having a look at. Mentioned a few names the other day. The one I didn't mention was Emile Rees of Preston, and this guy is in his mid-20s. He's a Danish player. A couple of seasons ago, scored 16, 17 goals for Preston. Had an injury or so recently, but he is one player that someone who could be someone we'd look at. I think probably £2.5 million. So yeah, there's a number of strikers I think Cardiff are looking at. I mentioned Theo Blair the other day. He's one we've definitely looked at, but I think St. Pauli of the Bundesliga are favourites for him. My ideal player would be Chris Wood of Forest. He is out of contract, although they've got possibility of continuing that and offering him an option on another 12-month, 2-year deal. I don't know. But again, Chris Wood would be sensational. I mean, he would be a step up on Kiefer Moore without question. And I think that would say to Cardiff City fans that were really looking at challenging, but not sure if it's going to come off, because obviously I think Forest may offer him something, and he may want to still stay in the Premier League. His age, he hasn't got a lot of time left in the Premier League and try to make the most of it. But some other strikers out there that we sort of looked at, could be considered. One of them was Stewart, who went to Southampton as well, been injured. Will he get game time? We just don't know. But as I said, there's a lot going on now at the club over the next few weeks. I'd imagine the next 2 or 3 weeks, City will be making announcements, wingers, strikers. Who knows with Perry NG? Who knows with Ruben Colwell if offers come in? Ebo Adams, obviously Derby. I've been in discussions with City about Ebo Adams going, whether they'll let him go or keep him. He had a very good season with Derby. And obviously he was really unlucky with injuries before as well. But, we've got a lot of competition there with Siopis and Wintle and Ralls. So I think Adams is one that could go for 600,000. And obviously the other one is Isaac Davis, who's obviously come back from Belgium. And he may well be sold, or who knows, he could challenge with Keane Ashford there for a position in the team. I liked him when he was playing for City. But again, you've got to score goals. He did score goals in Belgium at a lower level. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And so encouraging news off the field, guys. I think, as I said, we can be pleased with the fact that we've now got an attacking coach who's come in. So that's a positive step for the club. We're obviously trying to improve in terms of our goals. Maybe, this guy, in terms of set pieces, they're an important part of Championship football, especially corners. So I'm sure the new coach will be working on with the guys on things like that and free kicks. Some other news for you guys. Ole Denham, some of you may remember him when he played for City against Liverpool in the Cup at Anfield. Had an outstanding game, but obviously club felt that he needed to go out loan, went to Dundee, didn't really get a look in there. But he's just signed a contract, I think a 3-year deal with Sligo Rovers, who are in the League of Islands, sort of finished lower mid-table really. So yeah, all the best to Ole Denham. As I said, when I did see him play, he looked pretty good. Obviously, the club felt that he wasn't one for us. So I do hope he sort of finds his feet there at Sligo and maybe gets a move back in to the Football League somewhere at a high level. And yeah, so I think, like I said, it's encouraging news for the club in terms of coaching. Let's get your thoughts in. I mean, obviously, defensively, Errol Bullitt is a defender, a bit like Southgate in terms of how his team's set up defensively. You've got your two defensive mids. And I think, that we started the season really well at Leeds. And the first half of the season was pretty encouraging, really, in terms of our position in the league. I wouldn't say that football was unbelievable, but it was a big improvement on the previous season when we nearly got relegated. So, as I said, it just tailed off obviously in January. But I think, to be fair to Bullitt, a lot of those players at the club aren't his players. Gutas, Siopis were his signings. Obviously, they were really good for City. Most City fans really like them. And I think let's hope that Bullitt is allowed to bring in 3 or 4 more players that he would like. He knows the Turkish leagues, he knows the Greek leagues, he knows the German leagues really well. So let's hope, let's keep our fingers crossed that we get some signings in the next couple of weeks, and we can start talking about those new players and get excited about the new league season. Hopefully, season ticket sales will go up, and yeah, we're looking forward to the new season. So thanks again, guys. Get your comments in about the changes at the club behind the scenes, what you think so far, and look forward to seeing you again.
Left of a 4, like a left midfielder. Made 20 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists, and as a right winger, 10 appearances, 2 goals, 0 assists. So I think from that it's clear that he's more productive off the left-hand side compared to the right-hand side, but he's also probably, it works out just about. So I think when I did it on my calculator earlier, on the left wing, his average is about a goal every 2.9 games or 3 games, and then from central striker, he averages about 2.85. I think it was something like that. I haven't got off memory, but around those figures, it was slightly better through the middle. But generally speaking, it's about an average, a goal every 3 games. But if you look at it, particularly in the last 2 seasons, he's done that in a team which don't create a lot of chances. Now, some would argue that should he have been creating those chances last year? I mean, yeah, probably. Other things that I think potentially go against him signing for us, or whether we should look to sign him again, would be he does make the pitch very narrow when he plays off the left. So if Bullitt's looking at him as a left-hand side sort of player, left winger, left forward, I think there's better options, in my opinion, as a left winger. If we were looking at him as one of our central striker options with the versatility to also play wide or as a 2, then I think is worth a conversation. I really do, because I think we need probably 2 strikers. We need an out-and-out number 9 who's going to be our number 9, and then we need someone else who can be a backup to that, to change things, to injuries, suspensions. You need to put an extra striker on.